games have the effect and purpose that we put on it.
Yo, that is,
you know what I mean?
That is deep and big facts too.
It's deeper than my pockets, I can tell you that.
Damn. Yeah.
No, but I'm serious because, like,
no, yeah, I get it.
You know, like, we define a certain game based on like what it meant to us, like as a kid or in that certain instance.
Even as an adult.
Yeah. The amount, especially the more time that you spend in a game or like playing a game, that sits with you for a long time, right? And then, like, especially when you're growing up, you kind of start thinking about, like, who made these games that I'm so infatuated with? And you start wondering, who are these game devs that brought gaming to a new height? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the latest episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. We are your just hosts today, Justin and...
Just host?
Yeah, just host.
And I'm Pedro. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. It's always glad to be back. You can tell that we're in a different setting, okay? And truth be told, Pedro's a little bit of a pyromaniac.
Am I?
You tell me.
Why? Because I'm on fire right now?
Are you on fire?
No, I'm not.
No, but you do set things on fire. You like to set things on fire.
Do I?
Yeah, there was actually a $4 million lawsuit against Pedro for setting 5 houses on fire.
You
so
imagine.
It's like, how is he not in jail?
Yeah, right.
Well, like I said, Pedro's pockets are very deep. So
very deep.
Very deep. Well, I mean, the style, the trend right now is baggy jeans and baggy clothes, right? So the you know,
okay.
I'm throwing out the metaphors today.
Okay.
We did spend like what, probably 3 hours just talking metaphorically, perspective based.
Yes.
Like everything in between.
Deeper.
Yeah.
We just kept going deeper and deeper.
Deeper. Like our hearts are intertwined now.
Intertwined. That brings me back.
Brings you back to a business idea we had. How well that's working out, you know. And then also we're just gonna say this right now, just in case anyone's like, "Are these two guys standing?" Yeah, we're standing.
Yeah, we're standing.
We're
ain't nothing wrong with standing.
We're alpha. We're alpha males right now.
Sigma.
Sorry, Sigma.
Come on, bro.
the beta Sigma cuck. No, but today we're talking about game devs that brought gaming to a new height. What does that mean? What does that entail? Pedro, what does that even entail?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of devs out there that brought games to new heights. And
how?
I mean, you want to go straight to the point? We can go straight to the point.
We can go straight to the point.
I mean, to gaming, what gaming is today.
That's true. Well, just like, you know, how iconic some games are, right? Like there's a certain standard, kind of like we were talking about in a previous episode.
Yeah.
There's a certain standard that you have with open world games that if you wouldn't have had a specific developer make open world games like this, you would never have that standard, right?
Yeah.
So these game devs like spent a lot of time making these games into the behemoths of games that they are. Rockstar, one of them.
Rockstar, Naughty Dog for sure.
Yeah. Bethesda, stuff like that. But
we could name so many.
I gotta get my wide Sigma stance
Go
going,
ahead, man.
Since we're standing today, and probably for the next couple of podcast episodes because we got to figure out this arrangement.
We're gonna be standing for days.
So I decided to change up the outline a little bit. Okay. So I wanted to make this a little bit more informal / a little bit more engaging, right? This is still like a leisurely conversation that we're having, right?
Of course.
But some iconic game studios that we have on our list, right? And we'll start really slow and then we'll kind of go like fast into this. But you think about Remedy, right?
Okay.
Off the top of the head, first game, what did Remedy make?
Remedy.
Yep.
Control.
Yep. Good job. See, this is also a quiz for you.
Yeah, right. I'm sweating right now.
This is a quiz to see if you actually know these game studios, because like I feel like a lot of times we get wrapped up in the titles,
Yeah.
We get wrapped up in the Control or Alan Wake 1 and 2 that we forget about some of the other games that they've made, right? So, so I'll throw a game out and I'll say Crash Bandicoot. Who made that game?
Naughty Dog.
Okay. So let's compare Remedy versus Naughty Dog.
Okay.
The two things that they have in common, well, they have a lot of things in common actually, but I would say they're very focused on storytelling.
I agree.
Would you not?
I haven't played them, but I have seen gameplay of them, like on YouTube. I'm mainly talking about Control and Alan Wake.
Yeah,
mainly Control.
Yeah,
and I can agree with the whole storytelling and how deep they go into their lore.
Yeah, I would say that's where Naughty Dog and Remedy really, really, really kind of align. I would definitely say Remedy definitely goes a little bit outside of the box when it comes to perspective and dimension breaking. Mm-hmm. Whereas Naughty Dog goes kind of more strictly realistic. Yeah. Like Last of Us, right? Mm-hmm. Or Uncharted. Even though like there's in some instances where it's not really realistic. But even if you go to the visual side, right? Visuals, like both Remedy and Naughty Dog, especially, you haven't played Alan Wake 2, have you?
No, but I've seen what it looks like.
Dude, the game is crazy beautiful. Mm-hmm. It looks so good.
I agree.
Looks so good.
Better than Uncharted 4?
I mean, it has to because if you think about when Uncharted 4 was released,
it still looks good.
It still looks really, really good. But when compared to when Uncharted 4 released to Alan Wake 2, it's kind of unfair to give those two comparisons. True. Just because they're vastly, the time frame between those two is vastly different. Now, I would say if you were comparing The Last of Us Part 2, I guess it's not a remake, but like update to make it get to 60 frames per second. Then you can probably compare that title and Alan Wake 2 because they're fairly recent in time. So
yeah, The Last of Us Part 2. That was like when it first came out, I was like, this is the best graphics I've seen in a game yet. Yeah. And like you always think of Naughty Dog as one of those companies that spends a lot of time dedicated on making their game as good as perfection, polished to an all-time T. And another company that has a lot of polish is Rockstar. We mentioned them earlier, but they do.
If there's another company, and I didn't really like make this connection until I started doing some digging, right? Yeah. Another company that is very similar to Rockstar scale-wise, right? And their games,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Are fairly. Their games are also very big too. Mm-hmm. Bethesda. Was that who you were thinking of?
Nope.
Who were you thinking of?
I was thinking of CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, you could say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who would you actually? Let's throw CD Projekt Red, Bethesda, and Rockstar. Okay. I mean, obviously, Rockstar probably has a little bit more funds to work with to take their time in making a game what their games are. So maybe we'll throw Rockstar out. We'll throw CD Projekt Red and Bethesda because I feel like they're both on the same like wavelength, right?
I would say so. I mean, if you
stop
Bethesda, I feel like it definitely brought games to new height. But I feel
Skyrim, bro. That's the game. That's the one game that
we're talking about 2011. But I mean, I guess it's different. If we're talking about Skyrim,
people are still talking about Skyrim.
True, you're right. I digress. So, no, yeah, you're right.
Starfield is like, is not the game that. It's the game that they would have preferred people talking about.
No, you're right. I just want to digress because we're talking about like devs that brought games to new heights, and Bethesda did that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Now I haven't played Starfield like myself at all, so I can't really say. I can only go based off of what people's complaints were, which again, to our other episode that we talked about reviews, it's kind of unfair. It's kind of unfair to like base a game off of a review if you've never played it. Now I get you don't want to waste your money on playing it or buying it and then playing it if you're not going to enjoy it. Yeah. But that's kind of like, at least growing up, that's kind of the whole joy of gaming, right? You were
trying out. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. How we would just go straight off of the game cover you know, and just going home. And I just saw a YouTube video on this. I can't forget where I watched it or what channel it was, but he was talking about how, like, back in the day, we used to get games strictly off how badass the cover looked.
Yeah.
And we looked at the back of it, and then we would go back on our ride home and just look at the manual, see if we could get any more pictures out of it. And what are you looking at?
Nothing, bro. You're good. You're good.
And we were just so excited to just, you know, start the game. And for some reason, like 80% of the time, we loved the game we picked without seeing reviews, without seeing anything.
You know what game I did that with?
What?
I have one memory of doing that where I went to Target. So I was with my dad. And I was with my friend Anthony. Obviously you know who that is.
Yeah.
But we went to Target, and I was like, I'm in the mood for a new game, and my dad said he was gonna buy me a new game, right? So I remember walking into Target, and I was looking at you know, when you're just looking at the glass case.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at the glass case, and at the time, this was around PS3 era.
Okay.
So I obviously didn't have a job yet. And wow, that was like 15 years ago, bro. I'm old,
dude.
I'm old.
Old.
So I was looking at the glass case, and I was like, like, you know, which game looks the coolest? And there was one specific game. Let's see if this is another trivia. Another game that I saw on there. It has a guy on it. His hands are reaching out and has lightning coming out of it. Name that game.
And has lightning?
Yep.
Has a guy in it.
Yep.
Infamous?
There you go. Infamous.
On a roll.
Yeah. So that was my first introductory to Infamous. Now, again, that was the first game on PS3. Loved the game. Platinum it. Okay. But that was at a time where, like, we weren't really looking at reviews. We had a Game Informer.
Yep. Rest in peace.
IGN their site was still up, but like it wasn't really like common for, like, I guess, gamers to go on there and really look at reviews. It was kind of I don't remember what I looked on IGN for. I remember I would go on their site, but it was never to just go on there for a review.
Probably for like articles.
Yeah, just to see what was like, what, I don't know. I don't even remember. But I remember asking my friend Anthony, I was like, what's Infamous?
Infamous. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
Infamous. He's like, he started laughing. It's like, it's infamous. So started playing. But that was a game that, like, at least that was a period of time where I wouldn't have, like, I'm glad that I had to go through like these moments of like, I'm just gonna pick up a game because I don't know what it is, and I just gotta like trust that it's gonna be good. And if it's not, I'll beat it anyway, and then I'll shelf it and I'll play it later. But yeah, no, Bethesda and CD Projekt Red, they're very, very detailed when it comes to lore, but obviously open world is like their main go-to. Yeah, you know,
definitely.
Rank them. It's kind of unfair to do this, but
rank them.
Yeah.
Like, who's better?
CD Projekt Red or Bethesda? If you had to choose.
If I had to choose,
get rid of one from existence. You could only choose one.
CD Projekt Red.
Why?
Because I just feel I played more Bethesda games, and yeah, I that's strictly subjective. I played more Bethesda games, so
it's just a little fun,
and they mean more to me. Yeah,
but you know, I ask you why, because I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, you played technically two CD Projekt Red games.
Yeah,
and both of them you've never beaten.
Oh, facts. Yeah,
but you would still choose CD Projekt Red.
No, I said Bethesda.
Oh,
wait. Oh, to be out.
Yeah, like you have to get rid. You can only keep one.
Yeah, Bethesda. I would choose Bethesda.
You would keep Bethesda.
To keep.
Oh, okay.
To keep.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay. See, I thought you were thinking that. I thought you were saying you were going to keep CD Projekt Red.
No.
You like both of their games, but you just never beat them.
Never beat it. I like both games. Never beat them.
What's your favorite game from Bethesda?
I would have to Dishonored.
You played Dishonored?
Yeah.
I heard that game was shitty. I'll piss a lot of
people
off.
They made Dishonored, right? Am I tripping?
Bethesda?
Yeah. I like Dishonored, bro.
I don't think they made that.
Come on, bro. Am I tripping?
No, I don't think they made that, bro. That was the same company who made oh my god, I'm blanking on it. They just came out.
Bro, I'm tripping. I gotta look this shit up, bro. I'm tripping.
Wow, we're so bad. Hold on. Deathloop. This is the same company who made Deathloop, that made Dishonored.
Really?
Yes. I'm 100% certain about that.
Oh, I might be tripping, Brody.
Arcane Studio.
That's Arcane.
Yep. They also made like I said, Deathloop. Damn, you suck.
I really thought they did.
That was not Bethesda. Would you like to know what games Bethesda made besides Starfield and Skyrim?
Now this is I'm a little confused. Now who made Doom? I know that's ID.
I'm
right.
Yeah. Wow, I used to be very good.
If not, I might have to pick Skyrim. And I love Skyrim.
Wow, we're really bad. Are we gamers? No. I used to know all of these by heart. Yeah, so I'll read off some of the okay. This is yes, they made Evil Within 2 and Evil Within.
It made Prey too. They had to. I know Prey was made by Bethesda. Please tell me that.
Yes. Wolfenstein, Doom. Yes.
Doom.
Yes. Because I always forget that Bethesda is like they have other like locations. It's not just like the one that they made Fallout and Starfield and
now
stuff like
that makes me think, was Dishonored is Arcane one of them studios?
No, they're different.
Dude, I'm crazy.
You are crazy because Arcane they also made Redfall. That ended up not doing well.
Right.
So, there's that. Spent a little bit too much time on that because you took too long to answer. But we'll go back to point one. Remedy.
I'm glad I wasn't wrong about
or Naughty Dog. I already know your answer.
Yeah, Naughty Dog, because I play more games.
Yeah. And you got to play Alan Wake 2, though. It's so good.
Probably not. Maybe.
It's so good. It's so good. Okay. But we're still in the iconic game studios, but some other companies that are just so iconic. Bungie, obviously. Halo is the main thing. Obviously, you have Destiny as well. But if you had to say, what is more iconic, Halo or Destiny?
Halo.
And those are both pretty iconic games.
Yeah, but Halo is still selling because of what Bungie did.
Yeah, but so is Destiny. People are still playing it.
Yeah, but the thing is, Destiny is made by Bungie. Halo is no longer made by Bungie.
No, they just changed their name, right? 343 just changed their name
to what?
Halo Studios.
No.
Yep.
Wow.
Speaking of which, this is fairly common fact right now, or common knowledge, but Halo is gonna come to PlayStation.
I heard about that.
Which is weird. Which is really weird. Microsoft is kind of dropping out of the console war race.
Yeah, they're just making games.
They're just like, we'll just be a publisher. We'll just make games. We're not selling consoles. Like, I mean, to be honest, Microsoft is not doing great selling consoles. So, hey, if they make more money, if they make more games and more money, by doing it this way, I'm all for it. The gaming consumer gets more games and they get more time. So, I mean, to me, it's a win-win. It sucks not having that competition because now Sony's just gonna that's kind of the issue. That's why Sony was able to charge $700-800 for the PlayStation Pro, because they don't have competition. They have Nintendo, which Nintendo just does their own thing. Yeah. Nintendo's not focused on a console war. They're focused on making their games and their experience.
Yeah.
And that's it. They don't care about the next generation console. But I did hear that Steam was trying to enter the console war.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Making their own home console. But I think it's a little too late for that.
You think? This is because
home consoles?
Because people are going to be probably more more. They're gonna trust more of like Sony that's been there for a minute.
I mean, I think they would trust Sony over Steam. Well, Steam, no. The reason why I say that is because the idea of a home console is fading out. Like, how do you justify spending $800 on a home console that sits on your entertainment stand?
You might as well buy a PC at that point.
Exactly. So that's why I say it is, and they're severely underpowered compared to a PC. So it's like a home console 10 years ago, great. Yeah, if you entered that competition 10 years ago, fantastic.
Yeah.
But now it's a little harder. I will give Steam a little bit of credit though, because they do have their own like platform.
That's right? What I mean. Like, are they going to be able to sell their games cheaper?
They already sell their games cheaper. They have a lot of discounts already.
That's what I mean. Like, that's good. I don't know. That could be a whole episode.
Yeah. I mean, a home console may not be the best idea. However, if they did what Xbox was doing, where they made Steam accessible on any TV or iPad or tablet or phone, then that's a little bit of a different story. Now you're competing with games, and Sony's kind of like, we can't do that. We're literally stuck at home. You know what I mean? They don't have a portable console. They have the PlayStation Portal, which is mid.
Right.
They don't have the PSP anymore. And pretty much the only way you can play is from sitting at home. Now, obviously, that's not to say that they have you can play, it's in beta right now, but you can play games via PlayStation Cloud, PS Cloud.
Like streaming?
Yeah, you can stream games right there, which, you know, if you're going to choose between Sony and Xbox streaming games, I'm choosing Xbox Game Pass.
Right.
Like, no competition there. Like, sorry, like Xbox Game Pass has already been doing it for years, or a couple years now. They've gotten really good at doing it. Like, Microsoft shifted their focus towards that, and so they've gotten so much better at doing that. Sony's been focusing more on like gaming in general, like at home, and so like
old school.
Yeah,
I mean, for now,
but like at the cost of not moving forward. You know,
and it's kind of nice because you don't have to necessarily worry about the space that's like a game is taken up on your console.
Yeah,
and when you're streaming it, you could just stream.
Yeah. Too bad Stadia didn't stay around for long, because they were on to something. I think they just didn't give it enough time or money.
Probably not, because
Microsoft is literally just doing what Stadia was doing, but Microsoft was already in the gaming realm for so much longer. If Google Stadia would have just stuck it out, they would have lost a lot more money. But Google's issue is that they don't dedicate, if it's not generating as much money as Google, the search engine, or YouTube, they can it. They're like, there's done. We're a $1 trillion company. We don't settle for anything under $1 trillion. Yeah, but like I guess, okay, like maybe we're not like drastic entrepreneurs or over here or anything like that, or like making big moves.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. But I don't know. I feel like gaming, like they were onto something, and literally they could have just stuck it out. I wasn't like a early adopter of Stadia, but I think they could have made it work had they given it enough time.
Oh yeah.
So,
and who knows if Amazon probably, because you could play. I think you could play games like that. Like
Amazon can do anything.
On Amazon
right now. Amazon's at a point financially where they can do anything.
You could play Fortnite on a Fire Stick or something. I don't know.
They make a disgusting amount of money. Like, it's crazy. What's that? That's it? Yeah, that's it. But we'll cover these last 3 points. Capcom, another iconic studio. Mega Man.
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter.
Yeah. Definitely. That's a good one.
Yeah. Square Enix. Final Fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tomb
Raider. A bunch of other games.
And what about, I want to mention one. It's probably not on the list, though.
What?
Hello Games.
Name some games that they made.
So I only know one game that they made.
Really?
And that is No Man's Sky.
I was looking at them, actually.
So in the beginning, they brought game to new heights by like lying to people on what a game is. And then they were probably like top pioneers on like selling you something that is not what it is.
Yeah.
But then they redeem themselves in a way of now No Man's Sky is like so much more, you know, than what they promised.
Yeah.
And I feel like Hello Games is definitely a developer that brought gaming to new heights, because 100%. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the.
You know, they're working on a new game.
Yeah,
right?
they are. Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen the faith and I guess what I'm trying to say is the commitment they have to a game to bring in No Man's Sky to what it is today.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that being done with any other game other than probably Cyberpunk. You know, but Cyberpunk was already, you know, pretty good from the beginning. It was just they have to solve some issues.
A lot of issues.
Right. I get it.
Yeah,
but No Man's Sky, I enjoyed No Man's Sky from the beginning. I've said this in past episodes. But to what it is now, it shows a lot of commitment from a developer. So I kind of have to mention them in there.
Yeah. They could have just like dipped.
Yeah.
Taken the money and ran. Yeah. They're like, you know what? This game didn't work out for us, so we'll just leave. But they really stuck it out. Yeah. And I was watching Game Ranks the other day, and they were talking about No Man's Sky.
I love that game.
And they were talking about how like their comeback, and like they really built the faith back up from like what it used to be. And honestly, just from like watching that video and them talking about it, I'm like, I know No Man's Sky has been out for like years, like over 10 years. I kind of want to play it now.
Bro, hit me up.
I kind of want to play
it. Hit me up.
The last game studio on this list, iconic game studio on this list, it's From Software, man. They changed gaming like a lot.
Yeah, they changed it. I feel like they changed it to the point where everybody's trying to make what they do.
They're like,
what they do.
Oh my God, Elden Ring crushed it. We got to make a game like that.
Yep.
Phantom Blade Zero. I mean, still unknown yet, but it looks like another Soul. It looks like a Souls game. Tunic, if you've ever heard of that one. Souls-like.
So many games inspired by them, bro.
Dead Cells, very similar to Dark Souls games. Blasphemous. There's a lot of games that are similar to that. But yes, Remedy, Naughty Dog, Bethesda, Rockstar, From Software, CD Projekt Red, Capcom, Square Enix, and Bungie. Some, not all, but some of the top iconic game studios of today. Like, you can't get into gaming without knowing those names,
or at least playing one of them games. You might not even know the developer, but you have probably played some of these games.
Yeah, well, which means you got to play Alan Wake 2 or Control. Yeah, you're like, it's not gonna happen.
I'll probably play Control because I have it.
Control 2 coming soon. I mean, I don't think they announced it, but it's the people are like they're definitely making a second one.
They need to make a Titanfall 3. That's what they need to make.
Nah, they can.
Titanfall 3. Nah, they're probably too focused on Apex, but.
Now this is a fun little segment that I decided to do, okay? Because I feel like a lot of people know the standard studios, like the games that studios have made, the standard, the general like list of games that studios have made, right? And you're like, oh, I know the games that Insomniac has made, but if I had mentioned the game Disruptor to you. Have you ever heard of it?
No. Disruptor.
No. So a little tidbit, okay? Insomniac not only made Spyro at the time, not only made Ratchet and Clank in this order, not only made Sunset Overdrive, but they also made Spider-Man 1 and 2 and Miles Morales.
Yeah.
However, they made a game called Disruptor that was released in 1996. It was a first-person shooter game, and it was published by Universal. So I've never heard this game before. Never heard of it before.
Okay.
Until I looked it up. So just to give it like a little preface of what the game is, so it's similar to a lot of first-person shooters. But the player has access to special powers called psychonetics. similar to psychokinetic. Oh my god, telekinesis. Okay. Well, it's not the same thing. Yeah, but anyway, so you have 5 powers: shock, drain, heal, blast, and shield. So the plot is, so this Lightstormer corpse, like, military, receives an implant, and so upon one of their training missions, through the training performance, he's placed by his elder brother and commanding officer, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna read all this. If you want to look it up, here it is. But Disruptor is a game that Insomniac has made. Okay. I thought this segment was a really, really cool segment because, like, I like going into these, like, a lot of these companies, like, I knew that, like I said, Insomniac made these set of games, but I've always been curious. The very first game that got them started into what they do, what they do best.
You don't even know about.
Yeah. Obviously, we know BioWare. Mm-hmm. What games have BioWare made? I'm quizzing you today.
Mass Effect, and I know they made Anthem.
Do you want to know what their very first game was?
What?
Have you ever heard of Shattered Steel?
No. Oh wait, I actually have heard about that game.
Do you think so?
I haven't.
Shattered Steel was their very first game, and it released in 1996 on DOS, Windows, and Mac OS. So imagine, it was a mech simulation game.
Shattered Steel.
Yep. Shattered Steel takes place in a desolate future where humanity is on the verge of extinction. The single player campaign takes place over 5 separate worlds, aka planets. Each planet has about 20 missions. So the enemy in the game is a group of aliens who are in some way or another organic, mechanical, or combination of both. And I won't read any more of that.
Each planet, how many planets? 5?
5.
And each planet has 20 missions?
20 missions.
Bro, that's a campaign nowadays. Like each planet is a campaign. That's all DLCs in one game.
That's a long game.
Yeah.
From the looks of this you probably would not be very thrilled about playing it. I mean, at least in today's standards. But okay. Right here, I'll pop all these up on screen. At least the games that they've made. But yeah, it's fun going back to look at these games, man, because I can tell you right now, never heard of this game. All right, let's move it on. Rare. What games did they make? Come on, I'm quizzing you today.
Rare,
I said it like three times.
Killer Instinct. Did they?
What?
Killer Instinct?
Come
on, I know who they made. No, I know this. Hold on. They had to make Killer Instinct, bro.
I don't know.
Killer Instinct. Right here. Hopefully it was made by Rare, bro. Please.
You're like, I don't want to be wrong, man.
I don't want to be wrong again. Developer. No, wait. It says Rare. Yeah. It says Iron Galaxy, Double Helix Games, Rare, Xbox Game Studios. And I want to see this. As Zombies Ate My Neighbors, was that made by Rare?
Apparently, they had a partnership with Nintendo. Had no idea that they had that. Obviously, they're partnered with Microsoft right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they made quite a bit of games. Sea of Thieves that's
Sea of Thieves.
That's the main game. You know, I did a lot of this research before coming into here, but obviously, like, there's only so much information that I'm going to remember from it.
That was
they made Battletoads. That's probably one of the most notorious games that they've made in the past. However, that's not the first game that they've made. Do you know what the first game that they've made?
Rare?
Yes. No. You didn't even get the other two.
No.
It's called Wizards and Warriors. It was the very first game that they made.
Sounds so generic, but cool.
I mean, but then again, most games back then were pretty generic. How do you feel about this list so far?
I actually like it. It's fun, you know. But
you gotta know who you come from. Actually, you know what? It kind of looks like Gauntlet a little bit. So it was developed by Rare, published by Acclaim Entertainment for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. And it was released in North America in 1987 in Europe, and in Europe on January 7th, 1990. So this game was, let's see. Players control Kuros through the forest of, oh my god, this is a lot of like
words.
Yeah, it's a lot of words, but it's a lot of like fairy tale-esque stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't even describe this game. So if you want to look it up, right there it is. There's wizards and warriors. You can only imagine that it has wizards and warriors in it.
Yeah, Rare.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yeah.
Fun.
So let's move on to, we mentioned this company already in our first list, but then we'll jump into this one, right? So I'll name some games and you gotta tell me who made this company or who made this game. Alien versus Predator.
Alien versus Predator.
I'll give you another hint. Resident Evil.
Oh, who made that?
It's really just a quiz episode today.
It's Capcom?
Capcom. They also made Ace Attorney, Devil May Cry, Street Fighter, Dead Rising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But a lot of people know those games. We all know those games, right? But their very first game that they've made was called Little League.
Was it a baseball game or something?
It sounds like it would be some baseball game.
Little League.
Oh my god. No, Little League was, let's see. I put all these links in the thing, and they're still they just took me to their chat.
Little League. It sounds like a sports, like a, you know.
Oh, I mean, it was a baseball game.
Was it?
I mean, I feel like we should have been able to guess that, but yeah, it was.
It sounds like a baseball game.
Yeah, it was Capcom's first metal game. So let's see. So we don't want to use that. Nope.
What?
It was the article.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like a screenshot or something. Little League.
Yeah,
Man, now I kind of want to go home and like look at all these unknown games I didn't know.
Dude,
didn't know about.
It's a wild ride. I will have to say that, to say the least.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at these articles. It's not really giving me a lot of information about it. So anyway, we'll move on. Move on. All right. Last one. This one's fun. Okay. Who made God of War?
Santa Monica.
Have you ever heard of Kinetica?
No.
Santa Monica Studios has been around for a very long time, obviously. But you and I really only known them for God of War. Yeah. Like, that's
all they made.
That's pretty much. I thought that's all that they've made until I dug a little deeper. They made a racing game called Kinetica in 2001, and so this is before God of War. So I'll just read this little thing. Yeah. This is Wikipedia, the most knowledgeable library on the internet. It's a 2001 racing game developed by Santa Monica Studios and published by Sony, obviously, for the PS2. It was released in North America. Its debut is Santa Monica's debut game, and their only product that is neither a God of War series game or an external developer on an indie game. So again, this is the very first game. Okay. They hadn't made God of War yet. It was the first game to use the Kinetica game engine, which would later be used for the video game SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs, which I remember on
that
PS2,
too.
And then God of War and God of War 2. The game incorporates the use of SoundMax audio technology by Analog Devices, and the art book titled The Art of Kinetica was included with the game itself, containing artwork of the game's characters. In 2016, the game was re-released on PlayStation 4. I don't remember that. Kinetica? No. I don't remember that.
But it shows that they were invested even from the beginning. Like invested.
Yeah, they wanted this game so this was just like a testing game for them, really, before they used assets for other games. And I didn't know that they made SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs.
They made them. They made SOCOM.
Sorry. Well, it says the first game to use Kinetica engine, the game engine, which was used later for SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs.
But not by Santa Monica.
I don't think so. No. It's a Zipper Interactive. Gotcha. There's a lot of game studios that aren't really like around anymore, at least from the PS2 era. They've either been absorbed by other bigger companies, or they just don't exist anymore, which is kind of sad. But what are you going to do? Right. So we talked about From Software, right? Yeah. Well, what are their games mainly known for?
What do you mean?
Like, what's their
game?
No. What are they known for? What kind of games are they known for making?
For like challenging, hard games.
Challenging, difficult games.
Yeah.
So difficult games and accessibility games, right? Mm-hmm. So this is our next topic, right? And I feel like we haven't done this podcast in a while, so I'm leading into these like next categories. Kind of weird. I don't know. I don't like it.
All good. I like it.
Okay, bro, chill, man. Don't suck my dick or anything.
Daddy chill.
Daddy chill. No, but I feel like I'm leading into these kind of weird. But I have two questions that I wanted us to kind of feed off of a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And then also obviously, the chat or the community can kind of play with these questions too. Okay. So I'll ask the first question. Should developers prioritize accessibility features even if it means altering the game difficulty? So in other words, right? Should From Software, this is just one scenario, make an option for the game to be easier just to make the game more accessible for more players? Or should they just stick to making hard games, and if you want to play a hard game, you play the hard game, or you suck it up and deal with it? You have two options. So
I don't think the accessibility,
it makes it more accessible to other people.
I agree with that, but the accessibility, did I say that right? Anyways, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean? Accessibility?
Yeah.
It just makes it more open. It makes it more playable by other people because there's casual gamers.
See, I thought you were talking about like, how the Xbox has like a different controller.
No.
Okay, I thought you were talking about that.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not for like people with disabilities. Not.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. No. I would say, still like stick to your shit. You know what I mean? Stick to hard games.
I feel like more gaming studios are making games a little easier. Or holding your hand a little bit.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna cave in. As a dad,
you're like, I don't have time to sit there and play games.
As a dad, bro. Back in the day, I used to be like, man, I'm so tired. Not back in the day, like a few years back. I'm so tired of like games becoming easier for people who just casually play.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the less that you play games, the more involved you are in life and the less time that you have for games. You don't want the grind, bro. You gotta want to stay. I mean,
you're not wrong.
Gotta want to stay away from like, for example, Diablo. So I'm gonna give just an example. Like Diablo 4 Season 3 was really cool for me as a dad because like I felt really OP and I had fun with the game. I wasn't invested in the game, but at the same time, like other people in the community were saying, this is a dad game. I felt offended. You know what I mean? You're like, no, this can't be me. This can't be me. This was made for dads. So I'm like, damn. I was like, I'm a dad for real. But making a game like that, making a game easier and more accessible for other people, definitely gets them more money.
Sure.
But
it does.
But I disagree. I think that they should, if they want hard games, I think they should stick with making the game challenging.
Well, I mean, to your point, the game is sold very well,
right?
Despite having being difficult.
You're talking about Elden Ring,
yes. Game sold extremely well. Like, I mean,
yes,
it's their highest grossed game ever,
right.
which is crazy.
And it was probably the easiest out of all of them.
It was. And then people played they played the DLC. They're like, it's too hard. Yeah. It's like, dude, this is you said Elden Ring was too easy. Yeah. Now we gave you an actual challenge, what Dark Souls actually is, and now it's Sekiro. Too hard.
Like,
yeah, play that. Well, I will say, I'm gonna be a little honest here.
What?
I haven't beat the DLC
of what?
Elden Ring.
It's too hard for you.
It is too hard, bro. No, I'm at the point now where it's like I have to choose my time wisely with playing different games, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't have all the time in the world like that I used to have to sit down and play games for hours, nor the patience. But
yeah, I mean, I get it.
So the Elden Ring DLC, I pretty much got through it. It was a nice little challenge, right? Yeah. Definitely harder than Elden Ring by a long shot. But with the final boss, I think I may have tried it 10 times, and I was like, can't do it.
The final boss of the DLC.
Final boss. I was like, can't do it. And I was like, and you know why I stopped and said that? It's like, I'm not gonna sit here and die for another 100 times when I have other games and other things that I want to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Elden Ring. I beat you 99% of the way. The other % can wait. It's like I just don't. I know. It's so like hurts. It does hurt because like my gamer intuition is like I need to beat this game. Like I need to prove that I'm a gamer. Right. But like, who am I proving to? I'm not proving anything to anybody. All I'm doing is wasting my time fighting something that I'm like, honestly, I'm not having fun anymore. Yeah. It's like you go when you're like, oh man, I want you go out to eat with your friends and like you're like, I dare you to eat the spiciest wings you can get off the list, and you're like, I'll do it. And then you eat, you don't get anything out of it. All bragging you get bragging rights. But the thing is like you're dying on the inside. You're literally dying from eating these spicy wings, and you get to the last one. It's a dozen, and you're like, you know what? Who am I doing this for? I'm not doing it for anybody. And you know what? You push that last wing aside, and you're like, I don't need to eat it. And that last wing is a representation of the last boss in the Elden Ring DLC. I don't need to beat it. Maybe I'll come back some other time, but I don't need to beat him right now. I'm enjoying my time playing other games. Now, I will say, I feel like games in general are a little too handholdy, personally. I think the one annoying thing that games have been doing as of lately is like you have the protagonist and they'll be standing around and you're trying to figure out where to go, and you're like, I wonder what that is over there. Every 5 seconds. It's like, dude, shut the hell up. Let me figure out what I want to, like, where to go. I don't need you telling me that. Okay, I think there should be an option.
The Batman games are notorious for that.
Oh my god. Horizon does that a lot. But I feel like that's where the option should come into play. I feel like if you want a game and it's like wholesome, like you don't really want that many hints, your person should be less chatty. Like they shouldn't really talk all that much. It should be like, you figure it out. If you want to enable it, you can turn it on. If you blah blah, you can turn it on and off. Obviously, that means it's going to remove some game lines and stuff like that. But there shouldn't be commenting. It's like, oh, man, I bet I can climb this wall. No shit, you can climb this wall. You literally marked it with yellow and white chalk. Like, yes, I can climb that. Obviously. Like, give the player some time to think it through. It's honestly, like, some of the challenge growing up was, like, sitting there and struggling to figure out where to go. Like, sometimes, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but growing up, sometimes you would have to, like, sit there.
I'm trying to listen.
Sometimes you'd have to sit there. And it would be like a week. You couldn't figure out where to go. Because there was like, obviously, we get it.
Yeah.
There was no like guide for us to like, this is where you go.
Yeah.
You literally would struggle and figure out where to go for like a week, 2 weeks. And sometimes like you would have to have a friend come over and say like, well, let me help you. And I said, maybe I can find out where to go. And they would help you. And then you'd be able to get to the next part.
Sometimes you'll put the game down and pick it up like a month later, and then it becomes so easy.
Yeah.
Like, how did I not see this before?
Yeah. And like, I feel like that was the thing that kept people playing for longer. Now games are just so easy to get through because you have the protagonist literally telling you where to go. It's like, I guess game developers don't want their players to like spend too much time in a game because then they're not having fun. But personally, I feel like a little bit of the struggle is a little bit of the fun.
Right.
Which goes back to like, difficulty.
And you know who does a really good job at that?
Mama.
Naughty Dog. Yo, Mama, so bad. But Naughty Dog, like I think you have to press like R3 for a hint or something. So
yeah.
So it's more of like, like whenever you give up, you give up.
Yeah, but Horizon does that. But what they do both. That you can do like the little flash where it'll like highlight the areas where you can go, and then Aloy will also tell you, maybe I can climb this wall. This is a little too steep for me. I'm not gonna be able to climb this wall. I need another mechanism for I know you do. Like obviously you can't clean you. Yeah, man. I just wish they would dumb it down.
Man, you're getting worked up.
I know, man. I'm about to shit myself. I just don't know.
Shit yourself.
All right, I got another question for you.
Okay.
Where do we draw the line with AI and game creation? At what point are we like, you know what, we're using a little bit too much AI in game development right now?
Where do we draw the line?
Where do we draw the line?
I would say you shouldn't use AI for story.
Well, have you heard the latest backlash with Call of Duty and their voice actors?
Is it AI?
They've been using a lot of AI. They've been using a lot of AI voice actors. And there's a strike going on right now. And so apparently from what I've heard, there's a streamer that I watch, NoahJ456, and he was talking about how like since their strike is still going on, like there aren't really many voice acting lines in the new Zombies map.
Yeah.
And it's very noticeable because normally there would be a lot of chatter, but they don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Just pay for the voice actors. Yeah. You guys have a lot of money. Pay for them. Okay? Like people, I'm going to get riled up again, man.
No, it is because you want something polished. And AI
is great.
Yeah.
It's great if you're a smaller studio. If you can't fork out the money. Apparently, from what I've been told, or from what I've heard, having a voice actor, getting even some like cheaper voice actors, it's not all that expensive. Now, when you get to like Christopher Judge level, then yeah, you're paying some money. But like
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker. Like if you're getting to his level, then yeah, you're paying a lot of money. Yeah. But for some talent that you can hire for like fairly cheap, listen. Black Ops makes a lot of money off of microtransactions. They can afford to pay their voice actors for
what
100 lines.
It's really cheap what they're doing.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just find it very like, why do people have to keep going on strikes just for you to like hire them? Like that should be like, AI is great. It's a tool to use, but you're not improving the experience. Because you can tell it's AI because it's shitty. And then two,
that's what I mean. It's like AI is not there yet to use it for voice acting.
No, like I said, I think if you're a bigger studio, you can fork out the money to spend for voice lines. I think you can do that. Obviously, your game has to be doing very well in order to, games cost a lot of money to make. Yeah. Voice acting is one of those. But again, there are cheaper routes. If you want to have some voice acting, there are cheaper routes. You're already going the cheaper route of using AI, which is like the ultimate cheap out.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what you're using, I'm sure there's a cost to it somewhere, but
they're using it for their art too.
Yeah,
like the gumball arts.
Yeah,
dude. Some of them looks like
trash.
not trash, but you could clearly tell it's like there's AI in this.
Yeah, I think at least with some of the designs, I think that's also the same exact thing, right? So you have voice actors that you're taking jobs away because of AI, but then you're also graphic designers and artists.
Yep.
They're designing these things, and now they don't have the ability to do that anymore because you're using AI in place. I think if you're going to use AI, this is kind of where the line is being drawn. If you're going to use AI, it should be used as a tool, as a resource for the designers to utilize as inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have a lot of manpower to create something, you're like, okay, we need more ideas to churn out faster. You need you to churn out ideas faster.
Yeah.
The fastest way to do that right now, AI. That doesn't mean you get rid of people. That just means you use that tool that you were given to create more, so that way you can create more content for the players.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. That's where personally for me, you start drawing the line. AI is one of those things that's not going away, but I think there should be a balance between, oh, let's use AI versus let's completely get rid of employees because we don't need to use them anymore. We can just we can have half the staff do the same job and just use AI instead. Yeah. But then you get a half-baked product because you can tell it's AI. Yeah. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with you utilizing AI, but if you're a designer or an artist, you can take that design and you can add to it. The idea is already created for you. All you need to do is refine it and make it look nice.
Right.
Which I'm simplifying that, but like
at the very least you could do that.
Yeah, at the very least.
Yeah.
So at least for me, that's where I would kind of draw the line. Like, do a little bit of mix and match. Don't take people's jobs away, but help them do their job better.
I get that. But what if you... The thing is...
I don't want to hear what ifs.
I know, but that's like coming from a company standpoint, right? What if you could cut costs and instead of being trash, like it could really be good? Like let's say AI is at a point where it's good, okay? And you really don't need all these people to make a big game like that. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to lose their jobs, obviously, right? But I don't think AI could be as creative as like let me stop, bro. Cause like I might talk about AI all I want, but at the end of the day, it keeps impressing me, bro. Like
it does, surprising me. It is very impressive for what it is. Now, I will say, if you were using AI to cut costs so that you could pay the employees more, that makes sense.
They ain't gonna do that.
No, of course not. But that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
you're cutting costs so that way you can pay your employees more, so that way they can maybe work more hours. But
the investors, though,
that's what they care about. They care about.
It's a greedy world. Yeah,
it is a greedy world, especially the gaming industry. The gaming industry is a very greedy industry. Especially if you're a AAA company. So, but what are you gonna do?
No.
You could say don't buy Call of Duty, but people are gonna buy it anyway. It's like the same reason why people are buying Madden and NHL.
Yeah, it's gotta be you that gotta be stepping out. If you're tired of the bullshit, you
gotta do it.
Gotta step out.
But the thing is, it's like one person's only gonna do so much. So yeah. If you like Call of Duty, you'll play it. You don't care about the voice actors. You don't care about the strikes. You just
I was thinking about that earlier.
So I just want to play the game, man.
You like the gameplay.
Yeah, I just want to play the game, man.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. That is a valid point.
Yeah,
like, bro, I'm here for the gameplay. I mean, that's what it is for.
I'm spending the money on it.
Because imagine if it had all these cool artwork, these cool voice actors, and the game is shitty.
Yeah, but you're still spending $70 on a game that's mediocre. So what's the difference?
I mean, you've been doing it I've been doing that for years with Call of Duty.
That's true. Yeah, but it wasn't $70. It was cheaper than that. It was $60.
True.
$63 and some change. Yeah. Sony's cutting PS4 games.
What?
that
Are they for real?
It's an end of an era. IGN article right here.
Okay.
Sony's cutting PS4 games from PlayStation Plus next year.
Oh, so now it's going to be strictly PS5.
Sony's cutting PS4 games from its PlayStation Plus Essentials monthly games and the games catalog starting January 2026, instead focusing solely on PlayStation 5. The PlayStation blog post, which revealed February 25th's monthly titles, also included an update on the monthly games subscribers can obtain at no extra cost each month and the Game Pass style subscription service. Quote from Sony.
Okay.
Let me get my reading voice in.
All right.
And my Sigma stance going on.
Sigma.
As we shift to PS5, PS4 games will no longer be a key benefit. It will only be occasionally offered for PlayStation Plus monthly games and game catalogs, Sony said. This won't affect the monthly titles players have already obtained, though game catalog titles will still be available to play until they leave the catalog.
That's an L.
Part of the monthly refresh. That's bullshit.
That's an L, bro. That's a big L.
It's a super big L. Look at Microsoft.
Look at Game Pass. You got 360 games. You got original Xbox games. Like, wow. I can't
any Xbox game you want to play, there.
They're shooting themselves on the foot.
They shouldn't be doing that.
I think they're trying to.
I don't know what they're trying to do because that's not the move.
They're sabotaging themselves.
They are.
At this point.
They continue to say, we'll continue to involve the experience of PlayStation Plus and optimize the benefits you receive, including exclusive discounts, online multiplayer access, online game save storage, and more, Sony added. As we shift our focus to PS5, we look forward to adding new PS5 titles monthly for you to enjoy. Bro, there's nothing.
I was just about to say that.
There's nothing.
What games?
There's nothing. There's nothing to enjoy. This generation has been the least active generation when it comes to games. That's because a lot of factors, but mainly because games just take too long to make. So how are you going to focus? Okay. This goes back to the conversation that a lot of people were having where they were saying, we need to focus more. Like, next gen can't truly be next gen because we're still making games for PS4 and Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Which their whole naming convention is confusing, but like we're still making games for older generations, so it's hard to focus on newer generations. This category, this scenario does not apply there. PS4 games, having those as monthly titles doesn't do anything to prevent PS5 titles from being created. Yeah. You're just taking old games and you're putting them on a monthly pass. You're not doing anything. No. It's not like you're making a new game and you're like, well, we made it for PS5, but we also have to make it for PS4. You're not doing that. All you're doing is you're taking an existing game and you're putting it on the monthly title for the monthly list.
That's a weird
call.
So
to me, getting rid of PS4 games off of PlayStation Plus, I would understand if they had said, we're not making any games that we make forward are not going to be for PS4. I would understand that. But I don't understand why they're taking the PS4 games off of PlayStation Plus.
Wait. So that means, but what about the ones I got for the monthly?
Well, the monthly games, that's what I'm referring to. They're removing PlayStation 4 games from the monthly game list.
Yeah, but what if I already added it to my library?
They said this won't affect the monthly titles players have already obtained.
Oh, okay. All right.
Though game catalog titles will still be available to play until they leave the catalog. So once they remove, they're done.
That's an L.
The whole point
That's an L.
in a streaming or a monthly thing or a streaming pass for games is to have access to every single title.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. The whole point is to literally go from physical to streaming. That is the goal. You can't do that if you're taking games away. You just can't do that. I don't know. I like Sony. I think they have a lot of great initiatives. They've also had some really, really bad initiatives, and this is one of them. this is a really bad initiative. This is terrible.
It's looking shaky right now.
Yeah, like I said, the lack of competition is blinding them a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll say that. All right, the last one we have for today, ladies and gentlemen, and this has already been covered because this podcast episode was like the outline was created like several weeks ago, so we're a little late on this. But have you heard the latest debacle with the latest Superman trailer? Have you heard about it?
No.
Well, people were questioning if there was a specific scene, a specific shot in the new Superman movie, if it was CGI.
I heard about that.
James Gunn was like, it's not CGI.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And people were like, this looks like CGI. This doesn't look real. This looks weird.
Yeah.
So,
is that AI?
James Gunn confirms absolutely zero CGI in Superman's flying face after TV spot raises eyebrows. I'm pretty sure there was a follow-up to this article.
CGI.
There was a follow-up to this article. I don't know what the outcome was. I think, again, don't quote me on this. I think people concluded that they did use CGI. I don't know that 100%. So I'm only reading the article that I have.
No CGI, bro.
DC Studio co-chief James Gunn has responded to criticism of Superman's flying face after a TV spot sparked debate online. Over the weekend, DC Studios released a new TV spot for the upcoming Superman movie, and the internet had plenty to say about David Cornswet's flying face. The 30-second video below shows two previously unseen clips. Lex Luthor stepping out of a helicopter in a snowy wilderness, possibly searching for the Forest of Solitude, and two, Spider-Man flying over an icy landscape doing a barrel roll as he speeds towards...
Spider-Man or Superman?
Did I say Superman speeds towards a mystery destination. Now, again, this is IGN. I'll pop it right there. His face looks super weird. So, again, I would be curious to see if this is CGI. Now, I'll ask you, do you care if it's CGI or not?
I don't care as long as it looks good. As long as like it's competent enough to compete with like, you know, movies that look real, at least. But I don't care what you use, but bro, like make it look good.
Yeah, I don't know. The article that I just read from was from January 28th, 2025. So about 2 weeks ago, a week ago. No, just 2 weeks ago. Just about. So allegedly it's not. There has been no other confirmation that Superman's face was not CGI. They said that it's not. A lot of people are still fighting on it and saying that it is. So, you know, there's that. We like to stir the pot here a little bit. I don't know.
I'm going to say it's not. If he says it's not, I want to see it's not. I got to see it. I
don't know. I feel like if it is, it's better. You know how like sometimes when you're backed into a corner, so you're like, it's not, because you don't want to be caught in the lie.
I don't know, bro.
I'm not saying this is. I'm not saying it is. But I'm saying if I was the director making this movie and I use CGI and I'm getting a lot of backlash and I'm like, I don't want people to not watch this, or like the movie's almost done, and like I can see it a lot of different ways.
Yeah. But
I can see it as a way that he like, it's almost like when you're caught, but you have two options: you fight or flight, and you just deny it as the fight, or flight, or I guess that would be the flight, or you fight it and just like, you know what? I guess I'll just accept that it is. I don't know. Like, it's just, I just feel like
I'm interested in that.
I just feel like, yeah, if you did use CGI, it might be better for you just to tell fans that you did use it and then fix it and change it and reshoot that shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to cost more money and time. But if it looks weird and people are noticing that it looks weird, people are going to notice that in the movie. Like alone, like people are gonna do or not just trailer breakdowns, but they're gonna do movie breakdowns of this. So like they're gonna see that and they're like, it doesn't look right. It's like the whole Sonic the Hedgehog thing. Like,
right,
it looks weird. If it looks weird, you need to fix it. That's the issue.
But is the internet broken down in two? Like some say yes, some say no.
I don't know.
See, because I don't know. I have to see it.
So, well, I'll read some more of this article lists, but and then we'll stop talking about his cross eye because his eyes look weird. His eyes are going in like two different. At least that's the one thing I noticed. I'm like, why do his eyes look weird? Like they're going in like two different directions. Some suggest that the shot looks a little off because Superman's face appears unnaturally still when his face and cape are blowing in the wind. Others put it down to wonky CGI, but in response to one fan on Threads, Gunn clarified that no CGI was used for Superman's face in the shot. Looks dope, one Thread user said off the TV spot. Great camera angle of Superman flying, except there's something off with his face that looks a little off. I know there's plenty of time to refine CG.
This is IGN, right?
This is IGN, but they're reading quotes from commenters on Threads. People commented these statements on Threads.
Okay.
They're quoting them.
I got it.
So I think I think people are being a little bit too critical of the movie. Shoot me.
I don't know. We'll see.
Just saying. Enjoy for what it is. Mm-hmm. Just be glad you're getting a better Superman adaptation than what you had previously. I'm not crazy about this movie trailer. I'm not crazy about it. But like from a lot of people, when we talked to Derek about it, he was super stoked about the Superman movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of Superman fans are, we weren't talking about him. It was in a podcast episode he had with another guest.
Okay.
People are very excited for this movie. So like I can like it's kind of like how like you're excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows, but the rest of the world is like, this game is gonna be ass. You haven't even played it yet.
I mean, I'm not too excited. I'm skeptical about
your
it.
Daughter's
my daughter's
excited.
Like, really
but like,
excited.
the thing is, you haven't even watched the movie yet.
Yeah.
All you've seen is a trailer, and the trailer is just little snippets from generally the movie, and the movie's probably not even being done edited yet.
Yeah.
So wait till the movie comes out. Reserve your judgment. It's just a trailer, man.
Yeah.
It's just a trailer.
I need to look into that more.
Yeah, you should. We should also look into ending this podcast.
End it.
It's almost 1 a.m.
Slash it. I gotta go home.
He's gonna go home, and he's gonna not only slash it, but he's gonna slash that meat. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the last episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. The latest episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. We are your hosts that make podcast episodes whenever they can. We didn't have an episode the previous week, but we have one whenever this releases. But we appreciate you as always for tuning in and listening.
No, for real. Thank you. From the bottom of our hearts.
Pedro doesn't have a heart.
It was gone.
It's gone to the depths of the sea. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow, listen anywhere that you listen to podcasts because it really helps us out. Shameless plug. Call what you want. But helps us keep doing it. Also helps us know what you guys like. So that way we can create content more tailored towards you.
Amen.
All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Stay sturdy, stay fresh. And remember, you don't need CGI to be pretty or beautiful. You're all natural just the way you are.
I'm pretty sure they don't have access to CGI.
They have access to anything they want. All right. Peace.